Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. So this week I am going to use these really cute Sunny Studio Merry Mice stamps, and there are a few, of course, that I won't use, but I also have my Memento ink and my packet for the week and some Prismacolor colored pencils. And there are a lot of colored pencils in here. It probably is a little bit of overkill for this, but I have them, so why not use them? And I'm using the Passion Planner free printables again, and I love them. They're working very well for me, and there's a lot going on next week, so I want to make sure that I am giving myself the best shot to succeed. So I am not necessarily putting these stamps down where I think that they would be most visually appealing. I'm actually planning on putting them around the page in places where I don't necessarily think that I would need to write anything. So that first one I put over there by the meal plan. I should still have plenty of room to do my meal planning. And then I put another little guy on Saturday because I don't necessarily need to write a ton of stuff down on Saturday. We won't have a lot of calendar items on Saturday necessarily, so I figured I could put a guy there. I am going to white out that little section down in the bottom right hand corner so that I have plenty of room to stamp as well as putting on my tasks for making all the plans for the week. And I did stamp this first guy over a little bit too far to the left. He probably will end up getting punched, hopefully not right in the middle of the face. So hopefully he'll turn out okay. But I decided to go ahead and stamp a little grouping down here. I normally put 8 blocks down here and only need 7, one for each day of the week. But when I draw my grid, you'll understand that this bottom left-hand part of the grid will be the mice, and then I'll still have 7 spots left for planning. And I am going to put the other mouse down here at the bottom of my work to-do list, partially because I don't want to write this many things. I have a lot of meetings coming up this week, so I want to make sure that I don't overfill my work list. And then, as you see, I can not figure out how to use the scarf. I did look to make sure that I wasn't missing part of the stamp set, but I believe that I'm supposed to stamp it, then cut it out with a die, and then tape it down. But I didn't want to do that because I don't want to make my planner pages any thicker than they are. I don't use super heavy paper either because I don't want to make my planner fatter than it already is. So I decided to use a post-it note to mask off some area and then just stamp the little mouse's head down so that I can put the scarf down below his head. And his head's kind of floating there, but I wanted to use the scarf since it is so cold in Ohio right now, and I think he turned out cute. Now, I would have loved to put mice all over the page and really decorate it up, but I have been really liking my functional planner lately, and I'm definitely going to need that again this week. So I want to leave as much space as I possibly can for my functional items. So I am just going to stamp a bunch of the little stars around the page. I did put that little hat up in the upper left-hand corner. I don't love it there, but I also didn't want to stamp another mouse, mask off his little ears so that I could put the hat on him. If they still sell this stamp set, I will definitely link it down below, as well as the die set that goes along with it. It's definitely a cute set. And then I also go ahead and stamp some of the little cheese blocks down around the page. And I do have quite a few Christmas stamp sets. I used to make cards for all of my kids' teachers. However, my kids no longer want to take the cards in for the teachers, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that going forward. But I have a lot of stamp sets that I used throughout the years for those cards, and I'm trying to get more use out of them. So without doing the little guy in the stocking and without making it too Christmassy of colors, I feel like I could carry this further through the year. Maybe still a cool weather stamp set, but I still think that I could get some more use out of it. I am going to white out some of the lines behind the mice. They don't end up turning out the best when I color over them, but I think it looks better than if I had left the lines. The little guy on the upper right-hand corner, I will leave those light lines behind him. I thought it would turn out better than if I put the whiteout pen down and then try to color over it with the pencils. And I'm just going to do a combination of brown mice and like grayish white mice with pink accents. I try not to get super close to mice, so this may not be exactly what they look like, but I'm going for inviting and happy mice on my spread. So I think overall, I probably spent about 20 or 25 minutes coloring all the mice that I do throughout the whole packet of spread that I have. I need to come up with a name for what this is called, but each week I have a packet and I like to put some decoration throughout the packet, but it probably took me about 20 or 25 minutes just to color everything in once I had it stamped down. And I do like how it looks, and I like that it doesn't take up a ton of room on the spread. So here I'm going to draw in my little grid lines for my making all the plans tasks. And again, I just need to make sure that I have at least 7 spots because I don't like to combine Saturday and Sunday like I used to. So I'll put Monday through Thursday across the top and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the bottom, and there will be a little more space down there. And that's when I do the majority of my making all the plans videos and administrative tasks. Now I'm going to go ahead and get some of the planning done. I'm just going to put the dates in for each day of the week. This is the week of January 22nd through 28th, and it is cold here in Ohio. My kids only went to school one day this week, so I'm hoping that things warm up just a little bit and they can make it a full week of school next week. So I need to look to see if friction comes in other colors, but I really didn't want to use the pastel yellow, blue, green, or pink this week. So I did just grab a mild liner and I'm using gray. The downside is this is not erasable, so if my meetings move, I will either just have to cross it out or I will have to get out some whiteout. So right now I am just blocking off the time that I will be in meetings or trainings, or my son has soccer practice on Monday night. So I am just blocking off all of those things that are already scheduled for the week. I am grateful that we currently have most of our evenings free, so that has been very nice. And now I'm going to write in 9 to 3 because I'm not sure how best to mark that I need to be available from 9 to 3 to accept a delivery at work, but I want it on the schedule. So I did just write 9 to 3 there. I will come back and write what it's for. Don't really like how it looks, so I will have to figure out something different next time I have to do something like that, but it will work and it's totally functional. It just isn't the prettiest thing. So as I'm going through, you'll notice that there isn't a lot of open time during my workday once I get all these gray boxes laid out. So that is why I don't want to put a lot of work items on the work to-do list in the bottom left area. The personal to-do list will be fine. Most of my evenings are free, so that should be okay. but the work part is what I'm worried about. So anything I didn't get done for this current week will go into my Notion to-do list, and then I'll only pull out those few things that I know that I'll be able to accomplish this week. There are a couple things. My boss was on, well, he wasn't on vacation, but he wasn't in the office this week. So next week he'll be back, and I know that he has things on his list that we need to accomplish. So getting quotes and things like that out the door. So I want to make sure that I leave some space in my calendar for things like that. We are also starting up another project, and it's going to start getting more serious next week. So that should be challenging as well. And none of that is on my calendar as of yet. So I guess Friday's wide open still, so we could put a lot of things in there, maybe? Not sure. But I'm also working on doing a lot of cleanup, a lot of surplus. We're getting ready to order new equipment and stuff at work, so we need to make room for all the new shipment that will be coming in. This is a little overwhelming looking at it right now, but I think it's good to lay this out before I start pulling in my work to-do list so that I can be realistic about those things that I can accomplish this week. I also need to finish returns that I didn't get to this week because it was so cold out. I did not want to make any special trips to do returns. So it looks like I will be going into the office, which I did not write this on the calendar yet. I normally write it above the day of the week, but it looks like I'll be going into the office at least Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. So I like to take at least one of those days, and then on my way home or during lunch those days, I can run my errands. So I also grabbed this July Heidi Swap agenda stamp set, and I just liked the relax, the breathe, all of those. Like, okay, just relax and we can get these things done. So I am going to use a few of these stamps just to not necessarily fill up space, but to try to motivate me a little bit throughout the week. So this first one says inhale, exhale. And I do clean off my stamps before I put them back each time. I try to cut out the time it takes me to use a baby wipe to wipe them off, but I do clean my stamps before I put them back. This one says take a deep breath. And again, I don't do a ton of writing things down on Saturday and Sunday. It will mostly be on my personal to-do list down in the bottom left, or it will be making all the plans things, which are on the bottom right side of the spread. So taking up a little bit of that room Sunday evening is fine. Then I have the stamp that says pause and reset. And at first I was going to put it on Wednesday, but really it makes more sense for me to put that on Friday at the end of the day. I try to reset both for work, for home, and for making all the plans on Friday. Although I do a planner check-in every day, sometimes they're smaller. So normally either Sunday night or Monday morning, I do a big check-in. And then also Friday afternoon, I try and do a check-in as well. And then I stamp this just breathe stamp at the beginning of the week to remind me just to breathe and take things one step at a time. Then I'm going to flip back to the first page of my little packet for the week, and I am going to stamp a mouse here, color him in, and just draw a few lines, only to decorate a little bit. I don't put a ton of writing on this page. This is mostly little notes about my goals, either what I have accomplished or not accomplished in this particular week, or notes for what I would like to work on next week. Sometimes it is just random notes that I need to move to Notion or move to next week's planner, but it is always something that I revisit before I take this packet out of my planner at the end of the week. If I do feel a need to decorate this packet more, this is a good page that I could over decorate and put a lot of embellishments and stuff on because I don't normally write a ton on this page. I do like to have the space available if I need to, but if I have that urge to have something very decorative, I could do that on this page. So this is my goals page. And then I have my routines and resets, my weekly spread, and then I have my prayer list. And this is from Squared Plans. But I did want to put a little bit of decoration down. So I did put this little mouse in the cup. This one is my favorite image of the stamp set. And then I'm also going to stamp it on to a post-it note. And then I'm going to cut out the stamped image. My plan is to use the post-it note as a mask for the stamped image that I've already put down. And that's because I do want to put other stamps around this mouse, but I don't want to overlap the stamped image that I've already put down. So by stamping it on this post-it note and then trimming it as close as I can, it doesn't have to be perfect, but the better you trim it, the better the image that you stamp over top of it will turn out. It's also easier to line up the masking if it's trimmed close, otherwise you can't quite tell if you've gotten the image centered over the image that you've already stamped. So off camera, I did put a tiny bit of repositionable tape on the back of this post-it. If I had stamped it on the sticky part of the post-it, I wouldn't have had to do that at all. But now that it's taped down, I can use this as a mask and I won't mess up the stamped image beneath it. So I do want to do these little flowers. I'm not really sure what kind of flower they are, but this is probably my favorite stamp set and I use it as often as I can. But I just want to make it seem like this cup is sitting on this bed of flowers. So I'll stamp one to the side of him, one below him, and then one kind of coming out of his head. Just because I have masked this off, I do want to really make it seem like this cup is sitting in like a pile of flowers. And once I get these down, that's when the magic really happens and you get to peel up the mask and see how your image actually turned out. And I really like how it looks. I probably could have even done some more. And the nice thing about the repositionable tape is I could have put it down again and stamped some more if I had wanted to. But again, I'm just trying to keep it simple. So I did go ahead and stop there. And then I did also stamp the word blessed. Then I'm going to get this little guy colored in, and that's going to be my spread in my packet for the week. I really like how it turned out. I like how simple it is, but I think that the mice are super cute. I don't always do cutesy in my planner, but I really liked them when I was flipping through my stamps and I hadn't used them in a while. So that's really the only reason why I picked them. I am going to go ahead and punch these to put in my planner. I've been kind of going back and forth on punching them or just paper clipping them and tucking them in my planner, but I lost them a couple times. I didn't lose them, but I misplaced them a couple times, so I do think that punching them and putting them in my planner is the best solution for me. So thanks for coming along with me. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I hope that everybody has a wonderful week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!